in our industry, each construction cost is site specific. So I do pricing. It's an estimation until my contractor goes to the lot, brings the quote back. We add that to the invoice of the house for the total price. People are adamant. They want to know now. They want to know how much it's going to be. How do you combat when you can't do precise pricing up front?
Yeah, tell me what are the steps that need to take place in your sales process for them to get that exact price? You're able to give them a ballpark estimate, and then you're telling me somebody's got to go out. What needs to happen in the process for them to get that price?
For them to get that price, generally a $5,000 deposit is put down for survey, site plan, permitting. During that time, my contractor goes to their lot, brings back a construction quote, and then we get finalized pricing.
How far off are you on your quotes from final price, typically?
What do you think that takes? Anywhere from...
We're roughly 84 hours. I'd say 84 to 86 hours.
No, I mean in the dollars. Like, how accurate are your quotes?
We're usually within a $10,000.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 to 10,000.
What's your average ticket?
Anywhere 180 to 220.
Perfect. Okay, here we go. I'm talking to you. I've got the initial quote together. Hey, based on everything you're telling me, based on everything you want to expect with this, we can get this in our project. We can get it. How long would it take me to get it delivered to you? 5 months? Less?
4 to 6 months.
We can get this out in 4 to 6 months. We're looking at a ballpark price of $180,000. Now, of course, once we're able to lock everything in, we get the site plan finished. That's $5,000 to get the site plan. Then I'll be able to give you an exact price on materials, on labor, and everything then. But we're looking in the neighborhood, give or take, could be anywhere from 10, 15% plus, minus, typically plus because costs have been going up, of $180,000. Does it make sense to get that site plan scheduled? Now you say to me, I want the exact price. Say it.
I want the exact price.
Totally get it. Makes perfect sense. How we get you to the exact price is I have to go out there and marshal the resources and get a site planner out there to the site. They do that report. The cost to you is $5,000. It's typically greater than that, but we eat a lot of that on our part. We eat as much as we can to keep that cost as low as possible. But once we have that site plan done, which that $5,000, is that $5,000 refunded or put towards their build or no?
It's taken off the total cost.
Perfect.
And refunded if it's not used or they pull out.
Perfect. It's taken off the total cost or refunded or not used, but I do have to have an expert to do that. And as some clients have waited in the past, as you know, building materials have gone up 300% in the last 18 months. That's another reason why I can't lock in the price until we get that report done and you are ready to sign on the dotted line. That at that point locks your price in, but give or take, we're going to be within 10,000. Does it make sense to get the site, whatever that guy's title is, site planner out there to do that piece of work before materials and labor go up yet again? Right? Now you just got to put it back in their hands. What ends up happening is we hear stuff like that and we get all defensive and apologetic. And if you think about how ridiculous that sounds, if you're like, well, I want to buy 1,000 shares of Amazon stock. Perfect. Not Amazon, Netflix. It's $444. Well, I want to buy it in February. Cool, right? It's like no stockbroker or financial planner would go, well, I'm really sorry, but I can't give you a price on Netflix stock for February. Is absolutely no different. You guys have materials, you guys have land cost, you guys have municipalities that are changing things on water, on electricity, on site plan, on surveys. You have permits that need to be pulled, right? And you have the big one, materials, right? Typically we're within about 10%. We're not in the business of giving you some lowball thing. If we would, we wouldn't even be in business. I can get this as accurate as possible. Same way if you were buying a stock or something like that today, this is what the price is today. If I had the report today, which I don't, I can have the report as early as 48 hours if you're ready to have somebody get out there, I'll be able to give you an exact price, and we will pick up. If it goes over, that's on us, right? Once you're in contract, you're paying that rate. And if labor and materials go, and I don't know if that's your case. If that's not your case, you got to let them know.
You're right. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
labor and materials goes up, that's on me. But the only way I can commit to that is to have you commit to the project. And the only way to give you the actual price for committing to the project is I need to do this $5,000. It's more like an $8,000 survey. Okay, I'm going to pick up as much of that as I can, and I'm going to give all of that back to you when you're ready to go, right? Well, I don't want to do that. Totally get it. What's a good next step? Well, I want to know the price. Ballpark, we're at 180, right? Well, I'm just going to wait then. No problem. I will be here when you need blank, your net outcome statement, right? When you need a house, when you want that building close to where your grandkids live so you can fish on the lake or whatever it is that they wanted to do. But you guys, here's the thing. You have to remember, you've got to stay cool. You've got to stay confident. You've got to be on point, because they're kind of banging against you there, thinking that you're trying to do something nefarious to them, but you're not. But the minute you go, well, gosh, we really can't do that, and the reason why we can't do that is, you know, XYZ. That's like asking the pilot on a United flight, hey, can you do a loop? No, right? Like the pilot wouldn't be, well, gosh darn it. You know, the reason why we don't do loops is it bunches everybody around, and, you know, half those people don't have their seatbelts on, and that's going to be, like, you got to be like a pilot. This is what it takes to land this aircraft. Bing! Take your frickin' seat, right?
No.
I want the price. Absolutely, right? And by the way, based on everything you're telling me, this is the perfect place for you. Right? Based on what you said in terms of the location, in terms of the sizing, in terms of the configuration, I agree with you, we're spot on. The last component here is I need to do a site survey. Okay, that's going to be, you're going to cover 5,000 of that. I'm going to cover some on my end. I will kick your 5,000 back to you in terms of either a refund if the project doesn't go, or credit with the project. But in order for me to lock in the price based on materials, based on the site, based on construction, I have to have a professional go out there, right? We are not in the business of willy-nilly putting a home up and having it fall apart because it wasn't done right. I have to do a formal site survey, right? I'm very confident that we're going to be in the 180 number as of today's numbers. Of course, every day that goes by, those numbers could change. And in the last 2 years, those numbers have changed that direction, right? And I don't see that changing anytime soon. And that's, you just got to kind of play with that.
Yeah, excellent, man. Thank you.